So how did we meet, Josh?
Man, it's a funny story, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I was in college still, and I bought a course previously from somebody else. Like spent like $5,000 on a course, and I was like, you know what? I need more one-on-one help. So I heard from someone in that course already about someone named Dustin Verano who you were working with, and Dustin was this operator in the online space who wasn't like to me as big and public as the other guy I bought a course from, but was infinite times more knowledgeable and had different aspects about him that I liked, whether it be like his methodologies or his Miro boards on YouTube or whatever it may be. That kind of piqued my interest, so hopped on a call with him and spent a couple $1,000s on his mentorship, and I was like, fuck it, let's do it. And then Rage was the VA inside of that mentorship.
VA? Damn, that's fucked.
So basically like he was like kind of helping with all the questions, like information, this, that, whatever, like anything I need. That's what I mean by like VA, like virtual assistant, like being the voice for Dustin.
Yeah, for sure.
That's what I mean. So super helpful. Rage was amazing the entire time in that mentorship and gave me like tons of insight, tons of information, tons of help. When Dustin was a little bit slower to reply, or I was kind of confused on something, so I'm very grateful to Rage for that. And then kind of just kept talking in that mentorship, like, and just connected a little bit more, and then all of a sudden we're here in Bali, meeting up in person. So this is what happens when like you actually put effort into certain things, and you don't just buy a mentorship to spend $1,000 and quit, or you don't just like do nothing. Like you actually have to participate, be active, ask questions, and like be interested and make a difference, and then you can kind of like get into the space a little bit more.
And you have to go through that phase of doing it alone. Like you have to go through the phase of not really having people on your path and like following your vision. Like for the majority of this year, aside from going to Dubai, coming out here to Bali for a couple weeks, I've been kind of locked in behind my screen 10 hours a day by myself, really just working, you know what I mean? So it's like, if you can withstand those periods of times where you're the only one that kind of follows your vision, at the end of the day, when you meet the right people, connections, it's going to be so much easier to align with each other because you've already been doing that regardless,
Exactly. Yeah, I couldn't agree more with that, 100%. It's really funny how like certain things kind of like line up or fall into place when you make certain decisions. It's like with us meeting, or whether it be like with anybody else, you make one certain decision to like meet somebody or do something or change some kind of aspect or work a little bit harder, whatever it may be, things tend to align, and be it God's timing or whatever you think that might be, it's like things have a funny way of working out when you actually make decisions and you take action and you do certain things. You can't just like get anywhere if you just think buying a course is going to get you to your end zone.
Exactly.
Or do anything at all. Like you have to put in work in some aspect and try to stand out as much as you can. Like yes, these coaches, these operators, these mentors, whatever it may be, you're going to tell you to do their methodology that maybe have worked for them. But if you want to stand out and you want to be different, you have to do what they're doing, take that with a grain of salt, but also understand like, okay, this worked for them, but it might not work for me because, well, hundreds of their other mentees are also doing that method as well.
Yeah,
so you have to stand out when you're in some aspect. Research the space. Don't just copy and paste.
That's key. That's so key. I feel like people, of course, it's important to learn from people that have done it before you, that have had success in this space, but just info, which is what we do, where we sell online education. That is an industry just like anything else. So as it becomes more saturated, as more people get into this space, you have to adapt to the times. You have to quickly see, and if you're not in it, if you're not obsessed with it, that's not what you're living and breathing, maybe you can't really get a grasp of what's going on. But when you can see it, when you have enough friends in the industry, when you're talking to, with us creators that we partner up with, you quickly see kind of like what the masses are doing, and then you have to kind of pivot. So for you, Josh, what would you say that is the change that you've made that's getting more success now with your own endeavors when it comes to starting out for the app for the person starting out right now, getting into growth operating and operating creators offers and selling info? How would you say they can get started on a revenue share, or just like getting their foot in the door in terms of outreach if they're not known? Because for me, for example, I was in a fortunate situation to be known in LA in certain scenes, and just get access to certain people that have followings on social media, to have access to people like Dustin that I've worked with. So it was a lot easier for me, of course, than the average, I don't want to say average, just like let's say someone in India getting started, or just anyone in America even with no Instagram following, no presence online.
Yep.
How would you say that person can get started with growth operating, starting from basically zero connection, zero social presence and social aura?
That's a really, really good question, and I think there's a lot more that goes into it than just like one blatant answer. So I would give like my 2 cents on the way I would do this personally. So if I had no following and I was starting from ground zero and I wanted to get my client ASAP, what I would do first things first, is free work. So if you believe in yourself and your ability, whether it be from buying mentorship or doing some free work in the past, like what you have to do is basically build up a roster of case studies with people, because you can't build trust with people, you can't sign on new clients, especially through outreach or through ads, because people come on your page, they see like, okay, who is this guy? What does this guy do? How can he help me best? If they can't immediately have an answer to that, they're not going to want to work with you, right? So if you're lowering your fame immediately to do ads, to do outreach, you need to have some kind of roster of people you've worked with, some kind of case studies, some kind of names that people might recognize to kind of just boost your aura. In some sense is the best way to explain it, right? Because otherwise you're not going to work with these people. The best way you can instantly work with people without free work is through referrals. 100%, hands down, pays the best, least amount of work, probably the best clients you can get as well. But to get those people, you have to know people. And to know people, you have to be known. And to be known, you have to post content and have work with other people. So it's this whole massive process of like getting known, doing free work, posting content, doing ads. It's a very long process. It's not going to happen overnight. If you think you're starting from ground zero, you have an Indian account, or you have no followers, you have any of this, whatever it may be, you're not going to get a client ASAP. And I'm sorry to tell you that. If you think with 0 followers, with no posts, with nothing, with no social proof on your page, that you're just going to outreach somebody and within 100 DMs, like Alex Tramosi says, you're going to land your first client, it's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. You need to take other aspects that people aren't doing and work a little bit harder. Do YouTube content, make yourself known, post reels, make yourself known, build an aesthetic Instagram page, make yourself known, work with people for free and get case studies, make yourself known, make your product known. Try to, even what I did, for example, right? I networked with people at 2 of the biggest companies in the online space, WAP and Fanbases. From there, people at those companies recognized me and they referred clients to me, and I built long-term connection and partnership with those people, right? And that wasn't even the goal to partnership with them. It was to make friends or was to actually work for them. But from those 2 things, I got myself known, and now they actually refer people to me.
Exactly, and be personable too. Like I feel like that's a huge thing in the space. Like don't have an ego, or like a bad ego, a shitty ego. Like I think one thing that I liked about Josh is like you were always transparent about your situation, even when you're getting started. Just like this is where I'm at. These are my goals. And I really appreciated that. I also like the fact that you're posting content. To be honest, I don't know if I would have you, if we'd just be chilling here necessarily if I didn't see your content, because I got to see your personality. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And the fact that you kind of burned the boats back when I first met you inside of Dustin's mentorship. You know what I mean? Like you quit your job. You're traveling all over the place, meeting the right people, buying, spending all this money in mentorship. So I saw, okay, this guy's serious. So every time I would find a paid gig that I could send you. Not that I don't think you ever worked with anybody that I sent you, but it's like, we tried to. I thought about you a lot, and I feel like make connections. If you have access to certain people, don't be afraid to reach out to them and show that you're hungry to really succeed. Mm-hmm. And also start posting content. Like you're saying, it's something I don't do, but it goes a long way because you need to get known. You need to get known. It cannot be obscure these days. And that's why anyone getting started in this business model, like if you're reaching out to creators, these are people that value aesthetics, they value lifestyle. So ideally, you're somebody that can portray that you're already living the life that these creators want to live themselves. And I'm not saying, renting out an exotic car if that's not where you're at in life. That's not necessary. It's just like having some sort of like presence about you on social media, and also becoming obsessed with the business model itself, so that when you get on a call with a creator, when you send out a Loom video, whatever it may be, a DM, you just stand out, because there's a lot of DM monkeys pitching from the bleachers out there right now, and it's
and they don't know anything.
And they don't know anything. So when you stand out, they're gonna give you the time of day, and then you can win their business over. And it's you might close a creator on a revenue share, nothing happens for a month and a half, and then you have to get a new client, and it's like this constant cycle of like finally, like with growth operating, of course you wanna. It's not about stacking clients or just getting, I close this client, I'm so happy. No, fuck that. It's like you have to get leverage from somebody that has a following, that has
leverage
a pull,
is super crucial.
And it takes time. Like you're not gonna land a fire creator to start out, but if you get your reps in and you get your confidence up, and it's also conviction. At the end of the day, I've hopped on a lot of calls with like operators that are closing creators, and closed lots of creators just with me on the call as well, just with my voice, just talking. And even if I felt like I didn't even know what direction I was taking on the call, but just like the conviction of like, okay, this guy's in a space for real. And they're like, okay, cool, like I want to work with these guys. And yeah, it takes time. It's one of those things.
Yeah, I love the transparency of that. Like, I feel like a lot of you guys, this was me especially, like when I first started out, I was comparing myself to everybody else who was like landing a creator like that. But you have to understand that like everyone is in a different position when they're starting out, right? Some people have access to connections, like, you know, even me and Rage, like we had some connections, we weren't like up there, like some people in Miami who have access to all these guys. But it's like we still had some connections starting out. So for you, it could be slower, it could be faster. Who knows? But some of these guys, because they're starting out, because they have connections to all these huge influencers, these creators, people with hundreds of thousands of followers and immense influence and connections, they can immediately get a creator like that and learn from the best of the best directly and not have to buy into a mentorship.
I know, but those are like the small percentage of people.
Exactly, so that's what I'm saying. It's like you can't compare yourself to those kinds of people and expect the same kind of result because we're all on different paths. And it's super crucial to understand, like, you just have to be better than yourself than you were yesterday. 1% better every single day. Like Kaizen, like I'm sure you've heard that saying before. It's super important to, as Ray said previously, like, you don't want to have an ego, but you also do want to have an ego. You don't want to compare yourself to people and think you're like immediately better than them, but you have to compare yourself to yourself and think like, how can I be better than I was yesterday? Because if you continue to do that, you continue to improve, you're going to get over 365% better every single year by being 1% better than yesterday. And if you continue to do that and you continue to improve, there's no way you won't land a client. It's just not possible. But it's going to take time. I'm going to be honest with you.
Yeah, so for me, I would say get knowledgeable about the business model, like truly feel in your heart that like very few people know more than you. And that's how I'm feeling right now in the info space. I truly feel like I know more than a lot of people, and I can say that with conviction, but it took time. And also start leveling up as a person, like start in the gym, start, you know, posting on social media, but without trying too hard. Just like people more than ever in 2025, they want to just be around other people that are cool people. Like even the richest people in the world, they don't mind having friends that are maybe not as successful, but they're cool as fuck. And it's like people just want to be around cool people. That's what life's about.
Exactly.
It's like it's not about sending out resumes anymore. Like the reason I'm here and the reason I'm creating a name in the info space is just because I guess I came across as a cool guy on Instagram.
Yep.
Connected with Dustin, through that I connected with so many other people, and I never realized, it just happened by accident because I was living in Beverly Hills for 5 years, just like, you know, around that sort of frequency, but never on purpose thought I was going to make a pivot into working commercial real estate, corporate, to then like going in the online world and info space just through like mutuals on Instagram. That's huge as well, funny enough.
Huge.
So just like make yourself a cool person, whatever that means. Again, I'm not saying be somebody else. And start posting nice carousels on Instagram. Again, not trying hard at all, right? Just like showing your personality a little bit. Like instantly when somebody clicks on your profile, they can see your face and then they can see your eyes. They can see like your expressions. They can see, okay, like I fuck with this person because they remind me of people that I like. And then through that, I connect with everybody. And it's something I gotta continue to do. I'm too low key. I don't post enough. And it's something I gotta remind myself to like get back into that rhythm of posting more, showing more of myself. And that's why I didn't mind shooting this video. I wanted to just because it's time to start just voicing more of things, and especially for our industry, you know, because it's a legit fucking industry that we're a part of, and
It really is.
And you got to get started now because it's only going to continue getting more saturated.
But you have to do it right. You have to do it right, without a doubt. And as you said as well, it's like the days are over of resumes and jobs and all this stuff. If you want to get into the space, your Instagram is your resume. That is how people know you.
Yes.
And your Instagram isn't active, it looks weird, it's this, it's that, it's going to give weird vibes. People are not going to want to connect with you, right? But if you're not faking yourself, but if you're making yourself known to these people and giving yourself a certain vibe and aspect that people want to connect with you, and that you have mutuals with all these other creators that they have mutuals with, it's like, at some point, it's inevitable that you're going to connect with them.
Yeah, it's a weird topic to even talk about because it's so elementary, but it's something that I guess between Josh and I, we have a lot of operator viewers and just an audience overall that, you know, follows on social media, that just through our connections and being in the info space, a lot of people getting started as well and landing partnerships with creators. And I've just seen that between people getting started, it's a common topic where they don't truly grasp how important having a cool aesthetic Instagram, whatever that means. It's just like these guys don't get it. It's like it looks like their account it's an FBI account made literally this morning. You know what I mean? Like a burner account. Yeah, that's never gonna work. Or are you trying to like create? I mean, I know. Okay, maybe we can talk about this because let me know what you think about this. I'm actually interested. You had like 4 different Instagram accounts.
Yes.
What are your thoughts on that versus having one main account, doing less outreach, but it's from a legit lived-in account where people see, okay, this is not a burner account. Because even my account, I mean, I have 4 posts. It's pretty normal, but I've been accused of like, oh, is this a scam account? One time, this creator said that I was like, what the fuck? because I don't post enough, right? So if you're just spinning up like 4 different Instagram accounts and just doing 35 DMs a day times 4, just sheer volume, I don't think that's the answer personally. I'd love to hear your opinion on that.
Yeah, it's funny you say that. I had the same exact experience. So I was trying 4 different accounts, sending 35, 30 to 50 DMs a day across all 4 accounts. So 100 to 200 DMs a day in total from myself and also from a setter. I was wasting so much time. And although personally I never got any DMs that I can remember that said like, is this a burner account, is this a fake account, whatever it may be, the response rate on those 3 other accounts that were not as fixated and curated as my main account was insane. Like the amount of response rate I got in the main account versus those ones was vastly many times more. Like it's incredible. So if you want to send outreach, quality outreach, and actually, I mean, not just send like one-liners, but send like, value in the DMs and make it personalized, have this happy medium between quality and quantity, not like one or the other. I would also do that from one account that's built up to a certain point that you look kind of credible at least. 1,000 plus followers, some posts, not saying you have to post a bunch of reels, but like some connections with people. You're talking to people, the account's formed up, you have a good profile picture, you have a good bio that explains what you do and who you are, and maybe some of your personality as well, right? All these things fall into play. If you have a very new looking account with no highlights, no stories, no social proof, no people following you, fake followers, it comes off as obviously fake followers. And even though you have the same following as maybe your main account potentially, it doesn't stand out because you don't have proof on that account, proof of concept or personality or who you are. It looks super fake and people can tell that through a screen. So if you're going to build from ground zero and you're planning on sending vast amounts of outreach, I would do a happy medium between, again, quality and quantity, and I would 100% recommend promoting from just one account, not 4 or 5 or 6.
Exactly.
I think that's super important.
And I would say to like understand the info space at a deeper level than just what a certain public figure tells you about it. So for example, if you buy a mentorship, those are great. Let's say you pay $5,000, you learn someone's method, but it's important to kind of understand. And sometimes it takes like enough buy mentorships or like thinking through things for a long time to see every single angle, and you kind of create your own philosophy around the info space and just like your own way of doing things. And I feel like that's when you kind of step into your own power as quote unquote like a thought leader in the space, or just like a true operator. I think that's what the true meaning of an operator means. And for me, the way I got my start was working with Dustin in Toronto and essentially being a part of his offers and also a part of his mentorship to new operators in the space. So at a certain point, I probably had like 60 different mentees, maybe more, asking me questions every single day, where I was just like literally spend half my day answering questions and almost like being a firefighter, just like, and weirdly enough, like in reactive mode all day, but it taught me a lot because I would get the best questions in the info space about like, this creator said this, what should I say? Or like, this is what my landing page looks like, what do you think? And I quickly, within like a month or two, became an expert in this space just by so many people asking me questions. And so it's like it's an interesting introduction to the info space as well. Like, I feel like not many people have my background. It's the same thing. For example, I used to work in real estate. So if you're a real estate developer, many people that have that background, some people are rich as fuck and they just started developing because they have money. Some people were architects and then they decided to be a developer. Some people, they're contractors and they decided to be a developer. Some people are real estate agents making money. So it's like there's different ways to get into a business model. With me, it was fulfilling for info mentorships. And that's what I've done for other big names as well in the space now. They're just as big as Dustin's as well. So it's really cool to have insights from not only operators but also creators that I've worked with on talking with every single day, hopping on calls. So I think for me, my goal with the info space, I definitely see myself being a part of this industry for the foreseeable future. It's hard to say for 10 years because I don't know where the info space is headed in the next 10 years with AI.
I was going to ask you that actually, yeah.
Yeah, but let's say for the next 5 years or whatever the situation is, I definitely want to make a dent in the space and create softwares around info like we're talking about.
Create longevity.
Longevity, also inspire people in terms of helping them get more clarity on answers on things. Mm-hmm. I feel like we have that clarity now for ourselves. We have that influence. Yeah, so it's time. That's why I feel like I want to create more content as well. It's time to start sharing more information and getting more people in the space and kind of like what to do and what not to do. And not just when it comes to outreach, that's like 5% of it. There's like the whole 95% of the rest of like actually operating offers and really running it up in the space. And it's like an ever-changing market. You could do webinars, you could do a profile funnel, run ads to your Instagram, you could do just organic. So there's many different avenues. And you have to stay sharp, no matter who you are in this space. If you're like the best of the best right now, if you're not with it, if you're just living, as an example, like the certain lifestyle because you've already made your money, you kind of not fall off, but it's like you're not with the times of like what's really going on in the info space. So you can be overtaken by a new guy that just started 6 months ago because they're obsessed with it. And it's all it takes. Like that's why it's so beautiful about the info space. You can be somewhere in a small city in the middle of nowhere, hopefully the U.S. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then, but you can start you can become an expert at this shit in 6 months, especially with AI.
Yeah.
Obviously, you're the first mentorship that you came from Vader.
Yep.
I don't know him well enough, but he's obviously. I always laugh when I see AI operating.
Mm-hmm.
But it's true, because you can truly, with the help of AI, become a fucking expert in this space. And I feel like not enough people do that. And it depends on what level of sophistication someone's at, but you need to kind of lean on that. Like for example, for me, I would have times I would talk to AI, not just ChatGPT. There's so many different. I have my AI subscriptions go like $1,000 a month with all these AIs. And I would talk to them for 6 hours a day and scrape all the conversation into my own Notion vault, developing my own frameworks. And I feel like that's better than any paid SOP that I've paid $10,000 for, any mentorship that I've done.
I agree. All the information is out there. These mentorships, what they really do is kind of condense that information for you, make it digestible.
Yeah.
But it's you can actually implement it for yourself.
Yeah.
Because there's so much out there for you to do that it's overwhelming.
Yeah, exactly. It's a nice fast track for sure.
Exactly.
Buy into a mentorship, meet other people, kind of see the general frameworks of things, and then just get to it. And just become an expert, have that conviction when you speak with whoever you're working with, whether it be a creator, whether you have your own offer that you're gonna sell. That's another thing too, just instead of just partnering up with creators, having your own offer as well. I feel like I'm really thinking about the future of info as well. It's not just, from our background, because we come from a growth operating background, I think it's also consulting something to really think about, so you can sell done with you packages for people there, whether they're operators, whether they're creators. I think that's huge as well.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. So, question to you, because this was kind of ringing around in my mind. With what I've done, what you've seen me do, and I'm sure you've seen a bunch of other students do this as well, working with Dustin, what do you think is the best option for somebody to kind of get into this space? Should they burn the boats and jump into growth operating, or should they kind of rely on school or their job and everything to try to build this up on the side?
It depends on someone's age and their situation. I feel like if you're fortunate enough to get started in your teens or 20 years old, and you live with your parents and you don't have obligations, you don't have credit card bills, no actual bills, then yeah, of course, I'm doing 100% full time. No question about that. But if you're an adult with responsibilities, fuck no. You can't go full time because it takes time. Even if you land a creator and you land a partnership, even if you charge up front, it's still not gonna work out necessarily. You know what I mean? It's still gonna take time.
There's no guarantees with anything.
How many creators have you gone through? Same thing with me that we launch something, make a couple K, and then
falls off, churns, or you have to rely on them for all their deliverables, and they don't deliver, you don't get paid.
So it's not something you go full time. It's something that yes, believe in yourself, and you can really it's the best in my eyes. And I'm old enough now to really say this. I've done a lot. This is the best fucking business model on planet Earth this second to get rich, to get cash flow rich. But it does take time.
As well.
Say what?
To build.
Yeah.
As well, make connections, learn valuable skills.
And you can travel the world. Look at where we are.
You can do anything with this.
Yeah.
This is the stepping stone to any kind of business that you want to do in the realm of sales or marketing or networking, whatever you may do. Because not only are you learning all these valuable skills for yourself, but you're working with creators that have these skills that you can learn from as well. So it's a double branched value thing that you're getting as well for you.
Yeah.
Because it's you can never get this kind of value from doing dropshipping, e-com, or trading. It's just not the same kind of thing. And even besides the value, it's when we do these kind of businesses, Rich, we have this immense sense of fulfillment and satisfaction, because it's not only are we getting paid decent amounts of money, but it's we're working with a creator to not just make their life better and help them make more money, but their clients more money as well.
Yeah.
So we're ultimately changing lives, which is super important. Any e-com guys you talk to, any trading guys you talk to, a lot of them want to quit because there's no fulfillment, there's no satisfaction, and there's no purpose in there because they're not working with any people.
Yeah, it's a legitimate business. Once you become very proficient at this skill of back-end fulfillment and just growth operating offers and understanding the info space, you realize that it's a huge market. Because I'm not gonna lie, in the beginning, for a while even I would wonder, damn, does it actually make sense for a creator they've been building their audience for years and years, they have a lot of leverage, to give, let's say, 25% of their business revenue share to somebody else And I
Especially
still,
if they're brand new, they don't know.
in my mind, I was like, is that really what we do? Is that really that valuable? Yes, it is, because there's so much that goes into it, and they have no idea how to do it. And I've truly realized that when working with hundreds, I'm gonna say over 120 operators that are getting into the space, and also over 100 creators that are getting into the space for other mentorships, for other people that teach info business owners, and talking to them every single day. I just realized, holy shit, these guys have no idea what they're doing. And I do consulting for both for B2C and for B2B. So consulting, I'm the one consulting the operators and the one consulting the creators. And it's a lot to take care of when you're talking to so many people every single day, but that's the value of just building with one guy or like a handful of people, because you can put your operator brain to work. And I feel like for me, out of everything I could be doing right now, my brain, it's so technical, it's so about systems, that this is the best thing for me, being a ghost operator, so to speak, being in the background, just running offers. Creating content, of course, it's amazing for your own personal brand, which is super valuable in 2025, but if you have if you're smart, I would say, honestly, because it's not, of course you can leverage AI, you can figure things out, but if you're smart enough and you think in systems, it depends how you think. Like if you're more on the creative side, maybe it's not the best path for you. Maybe you just rather have your own social media presence and sell your own offer somehow and have somebody else handle the back end. But for me, the way I think and putting systems into place, it's there's nothing that I could be doing that's better fitting for my personality type. So I really found myself out of all the things that I've done in my life, like with this business model.
Yeah, it says a lot, I think, as well, for me too. It's like, I've tried many different business models over time. I've tried drop shipping, which didn't do very well. I had like a branded drop shipping store and kind of just like broke even, and then I just quit that after a year and a half. Didn't get into trading, I just never learned any of that stuff. I tried SMMA for a little bit, just failed because I got into it at a super late time, like after the rush ended, and just was nothing left of it. And then I found growth operating after a year in college, so I think a year after I stopped doing SMMA, and it's just changed. But you can't just go into this business model like expecting the world immediately, like all these creators or gurus might promise you. You have to go in it with just a total, total grit.
Grit, I was going to say that. I was literally going to say that. It's perfect.
It's a perfect word for it, because if you don't have grit, you're not going to make it. Like, some of these guys, granted, are working their fucking asses off. You don't see what they're doing, and they land a creator in the first 3 months that pays them very well. But you don't know if they're going to churn or not, but that's besides the point. It's like, as I mentioned before, you can't compare yourself to these people. You have to keep digging and digging and digging and doing what's best for you, not what everybody else is telling you to do, because you know you best. And when you have grit combined with what's actually working best for you, then you're going to land a creator, then you're going to have longevity, then you're going to make more money, then you're going to connect with more people, then you're going to have more friends and connections in the online space, right? So all these things kind of fall into place when you have some kind of ego in the terms of like, you are better than who you were yesterday, and you have immense grit in doing what you're doing. Because if you don't have grit, if you just like want to quit after the first 2 months, like I wanted to do, even though I kept going, you're not going to make it. It's just how it is, because the space is not only so saturated, I'm going to be completely honest about that, like it is very saturated. If you want to come into the space now, you need to have grit to be able to get anywhere, otherwise you're not going to make it. Like grit is super foundational to anything you want to do, aside from doing this. Like if you just want to come into this with like, it's going to be sunshine and rainbows and you're going to land a creator and make $10,000 a month in the first 2 months, it could happen, but it's
not the case.
Probably not going to happen.
Exactly. What I would say too, I mean, we could go really deep into info, and I think we might just save that for another video, but I feel like kind of who we're talking to right now, it seems like it's more of like the beginner operators, or just people getting into the space, people trying to get an understanding of how we see the space and kind of like our frame of mind and how we see things, getting into info. Back on this topic of grit, I think it's important for us to kind of talk about maybe things that you don't know about me and I don't know about you, but in terms of like where we started, whether it was 6 months ago, a year ago, however long ago, that like things that you had to overcome personally, financially maybe, to that the word grit was like basically putting a visual representation behind of like what you had to do to overcome those things. Because I have so many things too that I've done over the last 12 months that when people cry about like, oh, I've been outreaching for 3 months, nothing's happened, or like I'm trying this. Of course, I don't know, maybe I don't know their personal situation, just in general, I know what I had to overcome as well. Like I don't come from a rich family, so to speak, like anything like that. I've had my fair share of financial struggles as well. So I just think it's important that people, maybe we humanize ourselves with whoever's watching, so they understand that like if they have that persistence and that follow through, and they kind of like watch the right people, really become obsessed with the space, they can really within, I'm not gonna say 6 months, let's say within 10 to 12 months, they can really like transform their lives. Even if they're not popping off in 12 months, they're at least like on their way to like a completely different life.
Yeah.
So what would you say for you has been the things that you had to overcome, struggles this year? Because you started like in January, right? Pretty much, and we're in like September.
I started beginning of January. Yeah, right after Christmas, I think. It was.
Yeah. I started like same around.
Really?
Yeah, same time.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I had to go through probably what you're going through right now, like the basic shit, like no clients, wanting to quit, imposter syndrome, shiny object syndrome, wanting to change business models or quit or fall back into complacency. Like I've gone through it all. I've gone through confusion, like mixed signals, different creators telling me different advice and it being kind of conflicting. And when I started to just open my heart and realize that like I'm my own person, I know myself best, I'm gonna do what I think is best, did anything start to kind of click and start working, right? And I know this isn't struggles, but it's kind of just branching off. I had to go through many things. One of the biggest things for me was financial stuff. When I was in college, I was very lucky to have most of it paid for. Like my dad was in the military, so he had my college pretty much paid for, but I still had to pay for rent, I still had to work a job, I hated college, all these things. I wasn't getting like a stipend for food or anything, whatever. So I had to find a way to do all this stuff. So when I first signed my first client, I basically lied to him, hopped on a call with him. I said like, I've been doing this for a couple months. I signed a huge trading client already. I'm doing this, whatever. Told him I'm not working a job. I'm doing this. Awesome. But honestly, what I was doing, I was working a job. I was still in school. I would set up time to call him after work ended. Even if he called me in work, I'd put a sign on the door. I'll be back in 5 minutes and work. And I would go back in the back room and hop on a call with him real quick. And then I would just talk to him, give him fucking advice when he wanted to call me ASAP and say, hey, I gotta go, I gotta talk to my client, whatever. Put the phone down, go back to work.
Damn.
So it's like I was putting in those fucking hours. Like I was bullshitting. Like you have to fake it till you make it.
Yeah.
You really, really do. Like honestly, I would not have signed the guy if I told him I was still in college. If I told him I was working a job still. So it's like if you really want to make this shit, it's like I'm not encouraging you to lie and bullshit your way through there, but it's like you have to learn along the way, just as I did. Like you can't just know everything from buying a course or watching YouTube videos and having a creator tell you all these things. You have to actually learn from doing it. It's like riding a bike, right? You can't just learn to ride a bike from like watching YouTube videos. You gotta ride a bike, you gotta put on the scars, you gotta get the scuffs, you gotta fall a couple times. But when you actually get back up and you keep continuing to improve and ride a little bit faster every single time and build your legs up more, it's like at some point you can be a pro.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree with that, but also I feel like you don't have to, and people do it in different ways, but for me, I think it's more, it comes down to more, going back to what I was saying earlier about conviction. So for me, I've never felt the need when I hopped on a call with a creator to say, these are my results, these are the screenshots, this is how much money I've made creators. Mm-hmm. I don't think they really care about that. They just want to see who they're talking to and how much conviction you have in solving their problems. Of course, it helps if you can show results, of course, but in general, I've hopped on, let's say, 40 calls with creators, over the last this entire year, and not as maybe one time someone really pressed me for like, what are your results?
Yeah.
No one's ever fucking questioned me. Because like when I'm on a call with them, we're talking about their problems. They haven't. If they hop on a call with me or with anybody, they probably have a big enough problem where they're trying to figure out if you're the solution to them. And if you're just a normal guy, like asking the right questions, not being salesy at all. I'm not trying to close anybody. I'm just trying to, like, the thing about operating, and I say this all the time to new operators, and I don't feel like people say this enough, is they have to want it just as much as you want it. Just like in dating, right? I'm never hopping on a call with somebody trying to close somebody. It's like, it's like you have to diagnose them like a doctor and understand their pain points. And it's almost like we do like a two call close where, we'll hop on the first call, go through all the questions, and then just kind of keep in touch over chat, let's say WhatsApp. And then we send them some more information. Boom, they wanna sign a contract. We don't even hop on a second call.
Yeah.
Just because they feel like we're truly experts at what we do. And I feel like I've learned that from certain people in the space. I've kind of like followed through that on my own as well, and I think that goes a long way of like not wanting to close somebody and just working with, because again, it's about leverage, right? If you're working on a revenue share, I don't want to close anyone. I don't want to sign a client. That's not my goal. I want to work with the right person because I only have so much. It's not even time. It's bandwidth, right? Like I only have the bandwidth to work with a select few people, and it's not something you have to say in a video with fake scarcity, or like a Loom video at the end of a Loom video, like, by the way, I'm only taking 3 more creators. Like, nah, like people see through that. It's more so how you move. It's like sometimes it's less about what you say, more how you carry yourself, how you look at them, how you talk, and like you frame. I think that's the biggest thing in life. is your frame. It's what's not said by your inner beliefs. So when you hop on a call with somebody, let's say a creator, it's how you see this partnership going. Because again, I can only work with so many people, but I'm not going to say that out loud, but that's how I think, and they see that, and more often than not, they want to work with me, and I pass them off to another operator because I don't want to work with them.
I think it's very crucial as well, like the frame, as you said. Yeah. I think I agree with you, and I kind of disagree with you in terms of like conviction. If you're so convicted, it almost comes off as salesy. So I think conviction combined with almost being like nonchalant is very, very important. It's like when you're nonchalant, I know it's like a meme, but it's like when you come off as like, okay, it's just whatever. It's like you already automatically almost know you have the frame of like, this is just another client, this is just another person.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, from there, it's like you don't need them, they need you. By you portraying yourself as like nonchalant. Yes, obviously have conviction in what you're saying and what you're doing, but at the same time, it's like, don't try to need them because you don't need them, they need you.
Exactly.
Right? Because
that's a given for what I was saying, but yeah. 100%.
There'll always be more clients out there, right? But if you're like always trying to grasp people and reach and have scarcity, have this, that, whatever, it's just going to keep evading you.
Yeah.
But if you have an abundance mindset, if you truly have conviction in what you're doing, you know what you're doing, plus like you know there'll always be more people, you have to find the right person, they're gonna come to you. You have to attract, you can't grab and push away.
It's interesting how life works. People just want to work with people in terms of professional capacity. They want to work with experts. Mm-hmm. So whenever you speak, people feel like you're giving value, and whoever you're speaking to, let's say a prospect on the other side, that can be even if like zero sales energy, like it's completely a consultative approach. And if they feel like you're legit in the questions you're asking, that's what people care about. Like there's so many people, like let's say for example real estate agents, right? There's like millions of real estate agents out there, but people just want to work with somebody that they resonate with. Same thing with what we do. They just hop on a call. Let's say you're doing operating and you want to close a creator. You ask them questions and you guys talk, and if they feel like you ask good enough questions and you seem to know what you're talking about, and you're not from India, no,
and you're chilling.
Nah, that's fuck, my bad.
Yeah,
oh shit.
That's funny as fuck. No, but yeah, I totally get what you're saying. It's like almost, I think what's worked best for me, and like I haven't signed like a million clients, and I'm not saying you should because you were just saying like you shouldn't do that because bandwidth is super important, and quality of clients over quantity of clients in this space especially is super important. I think honestly, like when you're hopping on a call with people and you're trying to like gain clients, you should almost think about them as like being your future friend, right? So it's like it's a friend you haven't met yet, so you're trying to like help them and like kind of resonate with them and vibe with them.
Exactly.
And if you're vibing with them, it's like you're gonna have a partnership going. Like you don't want to like hate your client, you don't want your client to hate you, because then sales problems come up, people don't get paid, people don't get paid on time. There's there's blackmail, and there's people like talking shit behind your back, whatever it may be. So it's like always try to vibe with people. That's kind of what I've been going with, honestly. And like if they're qualified and you vibe with them, I think that's gonna work out. That's just a given.
Yeah, man. I feel like that's the reason I fuck with you right now, just because like we're here in Bali. There's lots of people that I've connected with, but like wanted you to come over to the house here and just like network and just talk more. And you slept over last night as well. Just like I just want to network with people that are on the same wavelength, not just people that know like are on the same level, because that's also important as well. Once you get to a certain level in terms of a certain space, you kind of want to stay around people that you can have a legitimate conversation with and when it comes to the space, but also someone that's chill enough like you can see yourself being friends. And like that's what I was trying to say in the beginning of this video. Just be personal, like work on yourself, and I feel like once you show a little bit of personality and you show that you really, let's say for you, like you really were trying to get serious about the space and you did it. I can see your progression, like you're doing a lot of big things now in the info space as well, so it's really cool to see. And the reason I was because for me I'm more reserved, I'll say the reason I was open to a new connection, just because I saw that you were being transparent. So be transparent, don't have a shitty ego, right? And that'll take a long way. I think people like me, at least, I don't know about other people, but I take that very, I think that's very important. I take that very seriously when it comes to connections. If somebody gives me the wrong vibe, I just don't even try to connect, to be honest.
Yeah, I feel the same exact way. Like, I think vibe, it sounds so stupid, but it's so important. Like it's honestly chemistry you're building with this person, the potential client or your friends or whatever it may be. If you're not vibing, like things just come up, things happen. So like people talk behind people's backs, and things don't work out. So I think vibes are honestly the key to everything, because if like, this is so stupid, but like if you just take your friends, for example, like you wouldn't be friends with them, you wouldn't be hanging out with them if they weren't vibing with you, and vice versa, right? So it's like, I think take that kind of same mindset with your clients. It's like, you don't want to be working with them if you're not on the same wavelength, if you don't understand the same kind of things, if you're arguing about everything, about little details, if they have a huge, massive ego and they think they can tell you what to do all the time, or you think you know everything and you're not open to any output from their end. It's like, you just kind of have to have like this mutual understanding. Like, it could be a partnership, it could be a friendship. You got to make each other money, and it's like the way to do that is to kind of get in the same wavelength 24/7.
Yeah. Something that just popped in my mind as well, like you started posting content a while back, and I think that's really cool. Like I haven't posted content yet. How important would you say that is to what we do in the info space?
Yeah, it kind of depends the approach you want to take, I would say. But from a very baseline approach, I think the key thing is just status and power, right? Because when you're posting content, when you gain a following, you immediately have some kind of status in people's minds. Like when people ask for your Instagram, oh shit, this guy has 10K plus followers. Oh shit, this guy has 100K plus followers. Oh shit, even the most basic thing yet, this guy is disciplined enough to post every single day, right? And that means something. That definitely means something, because they can see that, like, oh shit, this guy has posted the past 2 years every single day. He's gained 100,000 plus followers. He has all these connections on mutuals with, like, aside from the potential for like sponsorships and brand deals and networking with super high level people and going to mastermind, private events, and selling your own mentorships and digital products. Like, the fact of the matter is its power and its status, and that is super crucial in the online space if you want to connect with anybody and you want to have longevity. Like, yes, a personal brand is very, very important, and that kind of falls into play with the power and status as well. But it's like, at the very root of it, it's like people want to be around people who they think they're worth being around. And everyone has a massive ego in the space. I'm not saying we do, I'm not saying we don't, but it's like the majority of people only want to connect with people they think are worth connecting with. Such as that they don't want to connect with people below them, right? There's a reason they sell mentorships to people that they don't know, they haven't connected with, but they give people free access to people that they're friends with, right? Or that have a lot of status, is because they think they're on the same wavelength. They're connected with them and they have some kind of status and power. So I think that's very, very important. I'd focus on doing that, because not only from a power and knowledge and everything else I mentioned kind of point of view, but it's going to build into other things, long-term deals, potential opportunities to sell to your audience, and build a long-term, not just personal brand, but company or brand or whatever it may be. It's like, having an audience, having a following is so crucial, and all these people telling you that you don't need a following to make money is so stupid. Like, if you want to get anywhere long term, you have to post content. You need to, especially if you want to do the profile funnel method. If you want to run ads to your profile and have people come to your profile and follow you and see what you do, it's like, you can't fucking do that without a following.
Yeah, I think it's the biggest thing. When I went to Ty Lopez's house a couple times, like 3 times last year, the biggest thing he was saying is personal branding and AI. If you can master those 2 things, and he said it so many times that, like, yeah, I never forgot. And I feel like I have to, I've used AI a lot, and I think it's been great. Like, I want to continue to master that, to build softwares and really solve huge problems in the info space. But yeah, really like double down on personal branding as well. I feel like just off of having a certain Instagram, it's gotten me a lot of connections in the space, but I think it's time to start doing like long form content on YouTube, maybe some reels as well, just to push my thoughts and my ideas to new people getting into info, or just creators overall. And yeah, it's something that's like, I think the biggest thing in info that you need to succeed, or like the biggest 2 words for me in the info space, are upside, meaning some sort of revenue share when you work with people, and you can start at a different capacity. If you have a retainer with a big creator, and I've certainly done that so many times, and you have
Sometimes it's better, especially if you're starting out, to like gain some capital and gain some traction and just have enough money to like supply yourself. You're not living in constant scarcity.
Exactly, but eventually, if you really become an expert in the space, or when you do, you need upside in something. Because we see right through the space. It's like, it's the best way to get rich. You can literally make millions of dollars. So, and we know so many people doing that. So you need upside in whatever it is that you're spending your time on building. So that means some sort of revenue share. And then the second thing is visibility. whatever that means for you. Whether it's like, for example, with me and Dustin, like we have a collaboration post, and that was, completely Dustin's idea, and I never thought about it. Like, to me, I just thought it was really cool, but it's proven to be a huge thing in the space, right? Because it instantly gave me credibility, and it made me be seen as an expert. And of course, I did the right work to become the expert in the space in a short amount of time. So I earned that visibility. But whatever you do in the info space, you need to, whatever that means for you, whether it's starting your own brand, whatever it means, just like the word upside and visibility are the two things you need in the info space to become an authority.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with that more. Yeah. There's a certain base level of things you need to succeed in this space, especially coming in when you're brand new. It's all going to pick up when you're already kind of established and you already have all these base level things, like I guess kind of firing on all cylinders. Like you have all the stats, you have the upside, you have the visibility, you have the profile, you have the connections you've made, like all these kind of things. Like then you're going to be cruising basically. Like you have every single opportunity ahead of you. Like everything's going to work out. You have this sense of uncertainty when you're starting out, when things aren't like working out yet, or not sure how everything's going to kind of fall into place. But if you just keep going, if you work on the upside, if you work on the visibility, if you work on everything else you mentioned in this video, there's no doubt that you'll make it, but it takes grit.
I also want to talk about perfect grit, because I don't know what I want to share in this video, but last year, like 12 months ago, I lost $100,000. And not only that, but also got into like a significant amount of debt, even over losing 100K. And that, it's not something I share all the time, but I think it's important to share in this video, because it was a period of time had been living in Beverly Hills for 5 years, doing well, all these connections, and got into the info space with like all that to carry, like not having that, once you lose money, you don't have much to rely on. Like I don't have family in the United States, I'm Brazilian. I just realized like there's only so many people in my corner, and more than ever now, I realize the importance of being expert at something so you can monetize your expertise. Because at the time, because obviously I was living in Beverly Hills by default, I was connected to all these people, like the founder of MySpace, the founder of all these $100 million companies that are all my acquaintances or maybe friends, right? I go to their parties and just be around cool people. We got a lot of young crypto guys as well. That's the reason I connected with Dustin as well, just having like 40 mutuals on Instagram between Beverly Hills, LA, and Miami, because all these rich guys would fly between cities, and even though I hadn't really been in Miami in years, I would be connected to all these people just like all over these two cities. And but I didn't really feel, aside from real estate, I didn't feel like I was truly an expert at anything necessarily. I just like had a lot of baller friends, and of course it was amazing because it exposed me to a certain lifestyle. But I just never really found anything that I wanted to do. So I invested like 30K into Airbnbs. I put like 60K in the stock market, all these other investments, and like it all kind of didn't work out. I lost all this money. And I think the biggest thing that I've done for me this year in 2025 was completely get into a new industry in the info space and become an expert at it. And I've never felt better, because now like I know that whatever money I lost, I'm gonna make it back like tenfold, 100 times.
Exactly. So
like everything happens for a reason. So if you're getting started in whatever situation you're in, if you're broke, just think about me getting started in January with like minus 100K.
Yeah.
And like now, I feel I'm up. No, but now I'm definitely like in a better situation. It's like,
yeah, you can do this kind of business from any position, because the startup costs are so low. You can do anything you want as long as you have that grit and you have that dog and you can do anything. But seriously, it's like this is one of the only business models that like you don't have to invest a shit ton of money into kind of start and to really see some real returns and make it into a real true business.
Do you think anybody can make it in this business model or not?
No, absolutely not.
Yeah,
absolutely not. Again, as I said, you have to have fucking grit, bro.
Yeah.
If you don't really think about this as a long-term real business, it's not gonna work out. If you think it's gonna be like some quick cash money grab, go do something else.
Yeah, 100%. What about smarts? Like having smarts
of intelligence? Yeah, I think in terms of intelligence, there's two things I think you need before there's anything else off the top of my head. It's creativity, and it's the willingness to learn and be open-minded. If you want to copy everybody else in the space, you're not going to make it. You have to find your own path, your own things, your own methodologies, your own frameworks to attract clients, to acquire clients, to nurture leads, to convert clients, to do all these kind of things. It's like, to be personable, to be your own person, to stand out in the space, you have to be creative with anything. So if you're not creative, you're going to copy everybody else. sure, you can make it by just getting constant referrals from people, by just knowing people, but it's like, where's the fun in that? Where's the longevity in that? Like when this space comes down to a certain level of people who really just stay in the long term and have longevity, who are you going to be compared to everybody else? You're going to be the same exact person. So if you want to be your own person, you really want to stand out, you need to have creativity in this space. Second thing. What did I just mention second? Shit. Fuck, I thought I had it. And I was on a flow.
You're in flow state.
Yeah, I was in flow state too. Damn, I went too long in that riff.
What I would say, like this video, it's for anyone who actually made it all the way to this part of the video, I feel like it's a nice video to just like watch while you're like eating or just in the background, especially if you're in our space. I feel like it's a nice little talk, and I definitely want to go deeper on certain aspects of info.
Yep.
I definitely want to make sure that we continue recording content and just sharing more value. But how important would you say is investing in mentorships? Because I've invested, I would say, $15K this year into different mentorships in info, and you the same shit, right? Yep. So it's like, how important was that, and then what are the good sides and the not so good sides, I guess, and like what did you learn was the most important thing at the end of the day?
I think two things here as well. I'm gonna try not to forget these ones. First one I think is breaking down the beliefs that you don't know what you're doing. Okay, I invested in so many mentorships mainly because I thought everybody else had all the answers and all the intelligence more than me, and I wanted to shortcut my path to get to a higher level of following, higher level of status, more money, more knowledgeable about the info space. But ultimately, it's like all this shit is available everywhere on the internet. It just condenses it really, right? It gives you a very small, narrow path of things to focus on. Yes, some creators might conflict with their creators on like methodologies you should do or frameworks you should do, but ultimately it's all the same shit. Like it kind of narrows down the path for you a little bit and makes it digestible for you to kind of take their path and go a certain way. Secondly is the connections, for sure. Like a lot of these mentorships, a lot of these creators and group coaching programs and community aspects, like they have so many people that are in the same exact position as you that A, have made it, or B, are going to make it, or C, aren't going to make it, so don't network with those people. But usually you'll know who's going to make it or not going to make it. But that's very, very crucial, because when you're wanting to make longevity in the space and you don't know anybody, it fucking sucks and it blows. It's very difficult. But when you can actually make friends like just like that by referring clients to other people or vice versa in those communities, or having job postings, or meeting up with people if you're in the same location or on vacation, it's awesome. Like, it really is awesome. It's like your own tight-knit club and community. So in those two aspects, I think it's definitely worth it. If you really want to buy a mentorship because you think they have like vast amounts of knowledge, it's probably not going to be the case. For some people, it definitely could be, especially if you're brand new and you do want to shortcut into something that you know nothing about. Yeah. But if you've already been in the space for a month or two, it's like you could hypothetically just find all the information out there for free and just learn a little bit more. But again, it kind of just condenses it down to a digestible level.
Yeah. I would also say making the right, it's what you already said, connections and friendships in the space. After a while, when you're connected with enough people in the space that are knowledgeable, you just level up quicker.
It becomes so much easier, like 10 times easier, at least. Like if you're on your own doing this, aside from like you having your own business, like doing growth operating or info scaling, whatever you want to call it, that alone is hard. But if you're not even networked with anybody while you're doing this alone, it's going to be infinitely times more difficult.
Exactly. Like after a while, you talk to enough people that are successful in this space, you just start to understand things. Things start to click. And then you, like I said, you start to develop your own frameworks in your own way that you see the business. So when you hop on a call with a client, whether they're a mentee, a client, a creator, whatever it is that your angle is in the info space to run it up, like you just got it like that. You just talk to people and they understand, they feel, they get clarity from what you're saying. So I feel like we're definitely at that point now, and I guess I wanted to ask you, like, what is next for you? And I guess I can answer that for me too, being in the info space for the next 12 months, of things that you want to do, your actions, things that you want to achieve, who you want to help. What's next for you, would you say?
Yeah, there's a lot of different things I really, really want to get into. I'm not going to go super deep into on here because I don't want to give away too much, to be honest with you. But you and I have talked about some things about what we kind of both want to do. But one of the main things is the softwares. For sure, because in softwares comes real longevity. Like, you don't have to worry about client churn and all these kind of things. Like, once you build up a personal brand and a loyal following of people, especially on Instagram or on YouTube, you've come to the point where people want to follow you and they'll do anything for you and buy from you, right? So if you have a software that's $100 a month and it solves a real fucking problem, and you get 5,000 people in there paying $100 a month, that's $500,000 a month, constantly. And if there's enough value in that product, there's no reason somebody would not pay $100 a month for that product.
Yeah.
It makes no sense. So it's constant, consistent, evergreen longevity of $500,000 a month plus. Could be a little bit less. Obviously, this is just an example, but you get the point. Like with info, there's a lot of fluctuation. There's a lot of client drop. It really just depends on who you work with and the vision they have long term for themselves and their brand, right? If you just want to work with somebody who wants to make quick cash off selling a mentorship, it's like, who knows how long that could last. But if they want to make a real change to the world and their space, like there's going to be more potential there long term.
Exactly.
But with softwares, it's like all these big guys doing what they're doing have pivoted into softwares. Iman was in info, SMA, these are products, he's pivoted into softwares. Russell Brunson, whatever he was doing before, pivoted into ClickFunnels, right? All these guys, like all the richest fucking guys on the planet in marketing and sales have done something with softwares because they understand it's like when you sell something that people need for a real problem and you cover all areas of the market, you cover the B2B guys that are printing immense amounts of money, you cover the creators that are also printing a decent amount of money as well, and then you also cover the people who need solution solve or even convenience in some aspect of their business through softwares, right? Through AI softwares, whatever it could be. You cover all areas of the market, you tap into all areas so you get immense amounts of money compounded onto each other. And that creates real long-lasting revenue and growth.
Yeah, I would say the same thing for me is something we've been talking about is, well, you do need to get started in the info space first to really understand the problems that a lot of people face. And it's like, what's the word? It's like, it's so rudimentary almost, like how the info space still operates. I don't think people take it as seriously as other industries because it's such a new industry, I would say, in a sense. And so
there's also a stereotype to it.
Yeah. People like you can sell, when you sell a mentorship, a lot of people are selling access to them and their thought processes, but even on the delivery side of lots of mentorship, it's not what it's made out to be a lot of times. And I feel like after working with so many people in the info space and big names, I see the recurring challenges that the info space needs, and I feel like the next step for me as well would be creating some sort of software and have enough connections to raise the amount of capital needed. But it took that amount of time of like understanding the space first before trying to build a software from the beginning. So it took enough consulting, it took enough creators, working with creators on on partnerships to really understand what's going on, and then from there build a software.
It's not just that as well. Like once you have connection with people, they're also like you have a head start of people like already wanting to buy in that software immediately off launch.
Exactly. Yeah. And I would say for me as well, locking in with a handful of public figures, not even creators, just like public figures overall, people that want to sell and scale their info product, and we can do whether it's mentorships or something evergreen if they have like a bigger audience, and being their ghost operator. I feel like that's the thing that fits me the most. It's truly kind of like the way you and I were introduced to this space is in terms of operating. That's the best thing that putting my skills to use, that's the best thing I could ever do. So definitely kind of like being someone's operating on a percentage and then running it up that way. And also starting my personal brand in a way that feels unique and true to me, and start voicing our experiences in this space, and then seeing with no end in mind, not trying to sell a mentorship or any consulting in general, just like start showing the lifestyle now a little bit more too, and seeing who it resonates with, and then go from there. So like those are the three biggest things. So I'd say software, locking in with a handful of public figures in the space, not only creators but actual bigger names, and selling and making a couple M's off of each offer, not just like truly trying to go big when it comes to operating in a way that no one's ever done it. And then personal branding to help aspiring operators or also other creators as well.
Yeah, I like those answers a lot. Yeah, it's like all those things create longevity and it's super important. I think last thing before we wrap up, I got one more question, is someone coming into the space, I know we've kind of touched on this a little bit already, but what do you think is the most important thing for somebody to do? Not like an aspect about them like RIT, but what do you think is the most important thing that someone could do to stand out and become successful in growth operating in the info space right now?
Yeah, I would say it's interesting how this is the first thing that comes to mind. It's just like being the best version of yourself, whatever that means, just because I've seen guys that are kind of new to the space and like putting out content and like being creative with it, and they instantly stand out just because they're actually, if you have a brain, it's not that hard to stand out. Honestly, and these guys are doing it different. I'm thinking of a couple people in my mind right now. So I would just say it's interesting, like with any industry, it's true, but with info specifically, creators and other operators, just people in general, they just want to be around other cool people. So if you can put yourself out there in whatever ways you can and start attracting your ideal customer profile by posting on social media or just by making connections on Instagram, whatever, I feel like it's the best thing you can do, because you're naturally going to attract a creator, or naturally going to attract somebody that wants to work with you, pay you. For example, I met some people in Dubai earlier this year when I was there for only like 2 weeks. And I made so many connections and guys that are actively like wanting to work with me for me to take back end on their offers. And I'm so busy now that I can't even do it. But these are legit guys that if I were to operate their offers, we'd, probably be making like legit money. It's something I might have to pass off to like operators right now to work with them. But it's just like, why? Because we're around other cool people, driving supercars in Dubai. I probably had, drip on me. No, I'm joking. I don't know. It's like I think in my mind, like, why do these guys? Of course, I have a presence online as well. Like, I market myself, like I do this, which I do. So of course that's part of it. But also they probably like me, and I didn't even say anything about growth operating. Exactly. They know that I do this, and they're like, okay, I'd rather work with this guy, and they're waiting for me for whenever I have free time to run it up with them. So it's like. Exactly. I hope that answered the question, and I know that's not possible for every single person. The examples that I used, Dubai, and I know that I had, even though I lost a lot of money last year, and that's why I kind of wanted to bring it up, because this year in the beginning, getting to operate, like it would have been so much easier, so much weight off my shoulders if I was starting from a clean slate, but it wasn't the case. I did have that unfair advantage of these connections and being in the right places, that's true, but it kind of comes down to hitting the gym, like being charismatic, like being somebody that people like, becoming an expert at it, start voicing your opinions online, start having a nice Instagram, and doing the work. And if you have to grind out outreach, which is the case, do it, and like find the best method that works for you. Have some grit about you, lean on people in the space, whether it's through mentorships or just doing it by yourself. Just like believe in yourself, do it for a certain period of time, have conviction in a nonchalant way when you hop on calls with creators. Fail forward, like your first creator, it's not going to make you any money most likely, and then do it again, do it over and over again, and then when you hit creator number 4, you make your first 20K or whatever it may be, and then you keep going, and then all of a sudden you're out here in Bali, in Dubai, you're traveling all over with connections, and it's like you kind of break through, and it's going to take some time, it's going to take some belief, and at the end of the day, people are different. Like I can't really. It's like if somebody were to ask me what's the secret of success, it's such a tough answer, because it's like, oh yeah, believe in yourself, but it's like. It's so many different factors, like work on yourself, you know what I mean? Like, and just realize that, again, in the info space, more than anything else, it's about personality. Okay, you have to be an expert for sure. That's key as well, but also personality in this info space, because we're working with creators, people just want to be around other people that carry themselves in a certain way. And even if you're not there yet in terms of lifestyle, it's about how you present yourself to the world online, and just really kind of lock in on that. I don't have to go into specifics on what that means. I'm not saying post content. I'm not saying be somebody you're not. I'm just saying think about that. Present yourself in the best fashion possible online in your own way, and the people that are going to resonate with you are going to resonate, and there's going to be a line of people wanting to work with you after a while, after you kind of market yourself as like, I do this. There's going to be people wanting to work with you, but it takes time. And I've been in uncertain times as well, even in the space, even with working with big names, even like, no one really handed me anything aside from visibility aspect of things. I still had to work for my own partnerships and what I'm doing now. So it's even me, building from my own town, and kind of like doing this for 12 hours a day behind my screen, kind of by myself, really. It took that persistence, and I feel like we're finally starting to break through now, and it's only momentum and only up from here.
Yeah, you said everything right. I couldn't have said that better, honestly. I think the most crucial thing before we wrap up here is definitely putting yourself out there, any means you can related to info space and whatever you're doing. That just opens doors. Content, ads, networking with people, making connections with people.
Bring something to the table. Don't always be in the learning stage. Like, do what you got to do and get past that, and like start feeling like you know what the fuck you're talking about. And then once you connect to people, they're gonna see that in you, and they're gonna see that you're putting in the work. Because you can't always be in the same space. Like, even if you're doing outreach, like, don't just repeat the same mistakes. Like, use your brain, learn from that, adapt, and like change your methods, and like feel like every struggle, like you have to fail forward in the way that you're learning. Otherwise, if you're always in the same space of like, I haven't landed a client, I haven't done anything, and but you never really like, again, granted, people, I had the privilege as well to be full-time in info this entire year. So it's like, that's a huge privilege, I'm not gonna lie. If you have a job, you're trying to break through in a new space, that's a totally different situation. But you can still have persistence and still do, like, maybe you have to work harder than I did, and I worked really hard. But feel like you're making progress in terms of connections, in terms of becoming an expert, and then slowly but surely you're gonna make progress, and you're gonna attract your clients. Whatever your offer is, you're gonna attract people that you can sell to. And the info space is crazy. Like, I have guys that I know that were just started making money with Section 8, for example, and made a little bit of money, honestly, and then started posting on YouTube, have 250 views on YouTube, making 30K a month. Just because, why? So they had the courage to start posting, and they're selling their own offer now, making 30K a month, like 5K piffs left and right. Other guy is made money off of a TikTok shop offer, started posting on YouTube, 53 views for his 5K piff. I'm talking about creators in particular, not operators, but there's a lot of money in the info space, more than you even know.
And it's only growing.
And once you realize that, everything's gonna change, and you realize that, like, if you really master back-end systems and operations when it comes to info, and understanding offer flow, offer architecture, human psychology, direct response copywriting, all these skills. They're super important. You have to really lock in on these skills.
It's a lot.
When you develop your eye for spotting opportunities, like, okay, what is the gap for this creator? Like, okay, they're selling high ticket offer, let me just sell a low ticket. No, like, look at the bigger picture, like, what's really going on here. Maybe they don't even have reach. Why the fuck would you even want to work with that creator? It's like, exactly. How can I help this creator and not only understand the back end, but understand the front end side of things, like when it comes to content marketing, when it comes to making content, like,
you have to understand their bottlenecks.
How can you help a creator make content? How can you run ads to them? Like, you have to really develop all these skills, and again, it's going to take time. Maybe you want to lock in on what we started with, which is operating more on the back end side of things, and you want to lock in on content marketing. And once you know these two things, you're able to look at every single situation and bring more to the table than any other operator out there. And I feel like that's the stage that I'm in right now. And I guess to another topic as well, I guess to end things off, is like, really be aware of AI. I would love to do more research on this on myself, but I just feel like the info space is going to change very quickly when the decisions, like presidents of countries are going to be making decisions off of talking to ChatGPT. So it's like, what is the future of selling info online? Are people really going to be paying 10K for people for information that they could have gotten in 2 seconds at their fingertips? So that's why personal branding is huge, and it's something I got to work on as well. We have connections, but in terms of more reach and more personal branding, it's going to be huge, because in the future, I think people are going to pay for access to networks of people, because the more bots and AI starts to be a thing, we have access to information, people just want to be around other winners, guys that are winning, people that are winning. So like, people are going to pay the 10K or whatever it may be to have access to rooms.
Yeah, there's going to be more like distribution channels.
More than just getting information, so like access to networks. Yeah. And also I think like done for you offers is like where you can solve a problem for somebody, because at the end of the day, people still want things handled for them. So if you think you're going to, for the foreseeable future, 2 years, 3 years, you're going to be selling done with you stuff, I don't think that's the case anymore. I think AI is about to completely change that, and you have to adapt with done for you or access to networks somehow. Mm-hmm. And like, hopefully you're plugged in as well, so you have those networks.
Yeah, but you need to take the time to learn skills and to get yourself out there by any means necessary. I think that's how you're going to succeed, without a doubt. If you don't, then you're just not going to make it. So do whatever you have to do, like work that job, like stay in school, like live in your parents' basement still, like whatever you have to do if you're starting out or you're more advanced, whatever it is, to get yourself out there with content, with networking, with distribution channels, with brand sponsorships, with partnerships, like whatever it possibly can be, and and have fucking grit, bro.
Yeah, be hungry, take responsibility for your situation. Don't see yourself as a victim. Don't portray yourself as a victim no matter what's going on in life. Always walk through life with confidence, knowing that you got it. Like, that's why I saw you when you're like in the beginning of the year, when you're in a situation that financially you weren't doing the best. I could obviously resonate with that one, but I could see the way that you're like, you're still portraying yourself in a way that's like, okay, it's just like a stage in my life right now. It's not going to define me.
Exactly. And this shit was personally so difficult for me, because I was like trying to learn all of these high ticket skills within info, like sales, like copywriting, like direct response marketing, like CRMs, like funnels, like content and ad, like all of these things in one. Like, you listen to any guru, they'll tell you like do one high ticket skill and learn that, but it's like with this, like you have to know everything and see it from all angles. So there's a lot of shit that goes into this. plus the fact that I was still in school, I was working a part-time job, I was still lifting, I was still making connections at school. It's like, there's a lot to balance, but if you can find a way to manage all these things at once and continue the pace, continue to keep improving with everything that we mentioned, there's no way you're not going to be successful.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like we're very qualified to be talking about this stuff because we had to overcome our own struggles and our own challenges as well. And we still encounter challenges every day, but just in general.
And we're still growing too.
Yeah, we are. But just in general, like 6 months ago, 9 months ago, we were still probably not in a different situation. A lot of people that could be watching this, you know what I mean? So don't feel like don't ever see yourself as a victim. Just get started. And hopefully there's enough nuggets spread apart in this video that you can kind of like get some gems and get to work. And obviously if you want to reach out to us, we're more than happy to be in touch and just help whoever we can, because I feel like we're at a point now we kind of have the duty to, after we've gone through our own trial and errors in the space, to help other people that are getting into info or just being a part of it. You know, so I feel like that's something that I want to get at, put ourselves more out there and just help more people in the space, whether they're operators or creators.
Yeah, amen to that. I couldn't agree more. Well, this has been awesome.
I got it.
Yeah. What's your Instagram, by the way?
RageMello, RageMello on Instagram.
Awesome. I'm Profit Klein, so profit, like, you know, making money, profit, and then Klein, Klein. So you can follow us there. This might be in both of our YouTubes, honestly.
Yeah.
They can post it both ways.
Yeah.
So. Yeah. We'll post more content like this. Like, if you boys have any questions, like, don't hesitate to reach out on Instagram. Like, we'll be happy to answer, like, help you guys out. Or even in the comments of this video, so it'll be fun as well. But wish the best of luck to you. Like, any questions, concerns you might have, again, reach out, or any videos you want to see, also let us know. Like, we'll be happy to make videos about those kind of things as well. But I hope this was some semblance of value to you, whether you're starting out or you're kind of like even a little bit more advanced. And yeah, that's pretty much it. All right, boys. Peace. Hope you enjoyed. See you in the next one.